Hello, welcome back to another tier list video. And wait a minute, I was the wrong tab. Okay, there we go. So we're doing a day by day tier list, and now I couldn't find a tier list that included the singularity, so that's a thing. Um, so um, 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 and I don't know how to add an extra thing onto the tier list. So yeah, anyway, we're going to rank these killers depending on how good they are. Now I'm not sure about how good the more recent killers are. Well, like Knights and the Skull Merchant, but I'm going to try my best and rank them based um, um, on how I perceive them. Okay, so Trapper. Uh, It's at the bottom of okay, where's he? I'll just put him right there for now. Up, 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 I did play Trapper a, a bit last stream. Up, 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 well, the problem is when you set your traps down, well, the stars are not guaranteed to go there, and up, as you know, they can disable them, and you know, it's just up, his power is not that strong, and it's kind of bad. It doesn't have any map mobility or any chase power outside of his traps, which again, you need to pray that the survivor runs into the place where your traps are, and you also waste a lot of time setting your traps up. Wraith, I think he's okay. He did get some buffs, and you know um, his movement speed is very fast. Oh, I forgot to talk about add-ons. Travis add-ons, well, they're good. They help him carry out more traps, and um, you can use a will corrupt intervention to get the traps set down. Well, but that's not guaranteed. That's how I will complete a gen anyway. Um, um, okay, so back to Rafe. Yeah, I mean, his stealth is pretty good, but he needs to uncloak, and I guess you can will catch survivors at um at loops while uncloaking. And I'm pretty sure they patched. Um, I'm pretty sure they nerfed that though. I'm, I'm not sure how effective it is now, but yeah. Um, his sounds are good. Like the I can't remember what his add-ons are called. Well, but there's one that what makes it so um, um he can't um, um, make any noise, or the noises are muffled when he uncloaks, and there are ones that make him cloak faster, and um, and and uncloak more quickly. Um, and he has a built-in Slavi Butcher, so you don't need to run the perk. Yeah, I think he's alright. Billy, Billy has been I mean, is he average? I mean, there's not many Billys at the moment. I mean, he still has the mobility and the instant down chainsaw, so he's better than Rafe. Um, maybe I'll whoop the overheat really drags him down. Up and also his up, 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 I mean, I think he does. Up, 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 I mean, I think a few of his uh, add-ons are usable, and I think he does. Um, um, and the mobility and the incident chainsaw has to be respected. Does he make it into the good tier? I don't know because I think those nerfs and impacts him very hard. Does he make it into the good or solid tier? I'll keep him over here for now. I might change my mind. Okay, so he can make good use of Tinker even though it's been nerfed. He can make a good use of Pop even though it's been nerfed. There's a lot of perks that just been nerfed and he can't make use of anymore. I mean, he can make good use of Discordance and also that I don't know what that makes him undetectable when when he has his chainsaw. Is there anything else to say? I don't know. You know why Nurse belongs up here. I know why Nurse belongs up here. End of the discussion. Myers. Okay. Okay. So first of all, you are nerfed. When you start the match, you move slower, and you have no chair radius. You move at up, um, up 105% speed, which means you're slower than survivors, and you need to actually stalk the survivors in order to you know um, 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 um in order to um, actually become an M1 killer, but he is nothing outside of that. Apart from a reduced tear radius. And even if you try to stalk survivors, um, 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 a good survivor will be very good at denying your stalk, and you're just wasting your time like stalking the survivors in general. And you take so much time to do so that that gens are just gonna fly. Um, 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 like tier 3 isn't even worth much either. Sure, you get an increased lunge and all the survivors are exposed, but um, 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 natural volume speed increase, but there's practically nothing for average loops. Oh, and it's also map lines. Oh, and so is Billy. I mean, Nurse kind of is, well, but I got Nurse player will be very bothered by it. Uh, so yeah, Myers I think is like the worst killer in the game right now. Hag, I think Hag is great. Even though I'm not very good at her. Oh, I forgot to mention about the perks and perks and add-ons. Well, the tombstone is broken as and infinite tier free is good as they're always instant down, but it takes a long time to charge that up. And there are the stalking add-ons as well, but they're not really that useful. Um, 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 I mean, they are useful. And there's also the increased duration add-ons, which they're very good. Will they extend your um, which they extend your you know up tier free. But yeah, I think he I don't think he makes good use of much perks either. Um, Unless of course I'm forgetting something. Okay, so back to Hag. Yeah, once you have your trap set up, it's gonna be helpful for survivors. They can break it with a flashlight, and they maybe I'm outdated, but I'm pretty sure they can see it with the map, unless of course they patched that, which I'm pretty sure they did. Okay, but and she's I 110 movement speed killer. Uh, but that doesn't really matter when you place the traps down. You do need to set up your traps, which which is very time consuming. But up, 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 and can lead to a lot of gen pops. Uh, but I doubt that a professional high player will be bothered by that, since the map is trapped and the survivors um you know I just care all around. Um, 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 I think her setting add-ons and her teleporting um, 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 and her teleporting from distance thing is good. The Warlock shoe is absolutely terrible. The Minted Rag is very good. Um, it, it gives you good math mobility. Yeah. And perks to save best for last is a must on um, um, is a must on Hag. I don't think corrupt. Um, I don't think corrupt intervention is very good. On Hag, well, because it lures the survivors and towards you where you're trapping the well, map. But um, well, but yes, I can see some use. I think that's all I can say about Hag. The Doctor, he has basically everything a good hero needs apart from mobility. Um, 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 well, but uh, do I bump up to this tier, or am I overrating it by putting it up there? Also, I'm going to just do this in with no particular order. Um, like the tuning places are in no particular order, for example. But anyway, um, okay, so Doctor, he has the style blast, so he can locate survivors. He can stall the game well by giving the madness tier free. And and he can stop survivors well from um, um, vaulting and throwing down pallets by shocking them. Um, 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 and his add-ons will make him ridiculously good at this. His add-ons all around are really, 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 really good. Um, like the discipline add-ons, well, the detonation is like super strong, uh, very strong. Okay, so considering the discipline add-ons, okay, I think at best he might be at the bottom of the solid and good tier. Or maybe I'm overrating him. Maybe he's I don't know. I mean, um, um, I don't know. I don't know how to rank Doc. Um, I think he's a sort of balance killer, but okay, I'll just put him there for now. I'm just do do I put it in great or good? Um, 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 I'll put her over here. She's the king of this tier. Okay, right. So the reason why she has an amazing chase power. The hatches are really, 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 really good. Oh, I forgot to talk about perks for Doctor. Yeah, he can make use of an impossible skill check build, and if he wants to slow down the game even more, Side Butcher and other perks and Overcharge, because that's been buffed. And I think it's a lot more useful now with the with the ad regression. Okay, so the reason why I'm not playing Undersing upgrade here is because I think she has some weaknesses that hold her back. For is now 110 movement speed. Is really noticeable. Um, and she struggles with mobility. And also when you run out of hatches, you need to refill. I cannot play Huntress without Iron Maiden. Well, because refilling is not that um is um is a bit long for me. Although some Huntress mains might just be yelling at me for saying this. I say that it's not too long. I don't know. I just can't play Huntress without Iron Maiden. Her add-ons are good. Well, there's one that reveals the auras. Eerie head was nerfed in the worst possible way. I think it's still good if I think it's still good if a good huntress knows what they're doing. Um, but um, 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 okay, so yeah, her add-ons are decent. Perks. I mean, she made good use of barbecue and chili. Scourge Check has been nerfed. Pain Res has been nerfed, so there's that. And she's also map reliant. Another reason why I'm pulling it down, well, because while she's not useless on maps like Larry's, it is still a huge detriment to her. Even though she can perform well on there if she's in the hands of a good player. But yeah, she has weaknesses which in my opinion just drag her down Wolf on the Great Tier and lack of mobility and you know never face. Do I put him in the good tier or do I put him in the average tier? I think I might put him here. And the reason why is of course lacking mobility. His chainsaw is really good. Um, 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 I mean, you can use it for mobility. Unlike Blue, but it's more easy to get downs with it. Is there anything else I can say? I mean, he can make good use of perks like play with your food. And maybe Spirit Fury Enduring. I don't know. I think his add-ons are good. I mean, I don't really use them much, but yeah, I think they're good for him. That's well from what I've heard, and some of them do look pretty nice. Um, um, yeah, but he has no mobility, and I guess the chainsaw does help him in chase a bit, but he doesn't even have tracking either. Uh, yeah, Freddy is okay, or maybe um is he up here in average? I I'll, I'll put him in okay for now. Okay, so he's been nervous. His add-ons are practically useless. You could literally just will play regular Freddy and not like notice any difference from not running any add-ons. They're that useless. Um, um, Apart from like the iridescent ones, which those are like his only good add-ons. Like the rest are just terrible. Um, um, so we're not going to talk about the add-ons. He has snares which are okay. They're they're an okay chase with power when used properly. Uh, but they don't work if the stars are in the dream world. And you also can teleport to generators. So he has some kind of mobility. Okay, so he has mobility and I guess he has some. Uh, I guess he sort of has some slowdown because he can um, um well, because survivors can use the alarm clocks to wake him to wake themselves up. So guess they do have some kind of slowdown. Uh, okay, so he can teleport to gens and he can use the snares, but that's basically it. Yeah, I think he does belong in the okay tier. Maybe average if I'm being generous. The pig. Where do I place Miss Piggy? Okay, so I think well the Tabard Timer and the Creative Gears is still a pretty brutal thing. Um, 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 I don't think it's as good as it used to be, but yeah, still pretty brutal. Um, I mean the bear traps do I mean they do slow down the game a bit, and for stealth is fine. Um, 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 it's pretty meh. Um, 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 I mean the the dash attack is pretty bad. Well, because um, um, um because a survivor that knows what they're doing will know how to avoid it. So so yeah, you might be able to catch someone with it, well, but that's unlikely. So okay, tier. Um, um, I mean, she basically has no chase power, and well, but I do think with that the reverse bear traps and her stealth are enough to make her okay tier, even though the traps can be a bit inconsistent. I think her stealth is still pretty useful. Um, I mean, I think she does have some decent add-ons, and she can make good use of stealth perks like Monitor and Abuse. Um, uh, I can't think of any other perks that she might use, but yeah, I think she's okay in the okay tier. The clown, uh, where do I put the clown? I mean, he has I mean, his bottles can uh, his bottles are good at loops, and he can use his to for mobility, but it doesn't really increase the speed by much. I think he's just okay. Uh, I can't remember much about his add-ons. Uh, well, but I think they just give him. Uh, extra balls, and I'm not sure if the redhead piggy finger has been nerfed. If it hasn't, then it's still a really good add-on. But uh, I think he's just fine. I think his balls and maybe um his um, um I think his balls to slow down survivors at loops and to do a mobility is to um, um is enough to put him up in up in okay tier, even though he might end up down in the bad tier. I might change my mind. Spirit, I think Spirit is great. So, that what well that nerf certainly did hit her, well, but I still think she is pretty good. Um, um, Even after the nerf. I think you can still mind game survivors pretty well. And phasing with phasing is mobility. Well, she doesn't have any slowdown, unfortunately, and she is well 10 and she's a 110 movement speed. Well, but that isn't really a big deal when you can just phase. And I can't really remember much about her add-ons apart from um yeah, I think her add-ons are kind of average. So what perks can she make good use out of? Maybe save the best for last. Maybe I can't think of many perks that she can use. Moving on. Okay, Legion. I'm gonna place Legion in a K tier. Okay, so Legion can at least guarantee a hit and then spread up 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 it to other survivors. I think that's what separates well them from Trapper and Mars, because at least Legion can guarantee a hit. You can also run very fast while in frenzy, so you can run all around the map. Um, 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 Theoretically, and also if you hit all survivors, you can down one, even though that's not likely to happen in the game. I think he does make good use of perks like Phantophobia, Slight Butcher, and any other perk um, um, revolving around healing or um, the survivors being injured. And he does benefit from Jolt as well, or Surge, whatever you want to call it. I think their add-ons are I think they're okay. I don't know what the I don't know how good the BFF um, thing is. Um, I think the Hemorrhage and the Mantles one are fine. I wish that they combined those two, well, like they did with Wraith's one, but I guess that's fine. And that broken one is good, really good. The iridescent button allows them to break with pouch, which is decent, I guess, but it's not really that useful since you're not downing a survivor while in frenzy anyway. Although it does save you the time of having to go out of frenzy in order to do it. And I think is but the rest of their islands are very good. Like Plague is I think Plague is pretty good. Okay, so she has a Fountain which guarantees Corrupt Purge. I don't think I've used it much when I play her, but um, um, but I guess it's good when it does work. Even though I'm really bad at aiming it, uh, as evident by my stream and how I relentlessly got bullied in one game. But what else? Okay, so she can keep survivors injured a lot. What about just making them sick? So so that means she's so that means that the survivors are always an instant down on a source they cleanse, which they give you with the corrupt purge, which is super good. And also does have some slowdown to it. But she doesn't have any mobility, and um, uh, I don't think she's good enough to go into the great tier. But I think she's pretty good. Uh, have they touched that add-on that makes it so that she can see survivors out vomited? Um, I don't um I don't know if they had, but yeah, yep. I her add-ons are really good. Okay, so she can make good use with products like Phanthophobia. Okay, so I've I've come up with a really toxic build on Plague, what like a Phanthophobia, um, um Pentimento Plaything, and wait, what was the other perk that I used? I can't remember what the other perk was, but it's a pretty toxic build. They can't stay injured, what because um, because no, Phantophobia will give them a 20% debuff um, if they stay injured. And also stack that on top of a plaything. Um, 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 they are oblivious, which what makes it difficult to know when I'm approaching them, um, and even if they cleanse it, well, I can just light a Pentinento Tome and then slow down their progress even more. So they basically just have no choice but to cleanse. It's a pretty nasty build, but yeah. Anyway, without getting carried away, let's just move on. Ghostface, I think Ghostface is up here. I think he's like, up, I think he's about on the same level as Wraith. Well, because they function basically the same, except that Ghostface has an instant down instead of up race mobility when cloaked. But yeah, Ghostface has pretty good stealth. He can expose survivors. I like in um, 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 like instantly. Unlike Michael, where he has to like stare at them well, like for days. He doesn't really have any mobility though, or any slowdown. Oh, that's one thing I need to mention about Legion. Legion can at least slow down the game well when they're injured because they need some mend. They can choose not to heal, or but they're an instant way, and fans will be anyway. Back to his face. Yeah, I think if you sneak up on them really good, you can get an exposed thing, and also Night Shroud can help you during chase because it hides your red stain and no aura perks. So uh, yeah, um, I think Ghostface is okay. The lack of mobility and slowdown really hold him back well, from being in the average tier, I guess. And he's not really that hard to deal with well, because you can just stare at him and kick him out of Night Shroud, unless of course you've been marked. But but yeah, the demo puppy. Um, um, I love the demo puppy, even though I'm not very good at him, because I mess up with him a lot. But yeah. So basically, your portals they are saw mobility, even though you need to waste time setting them up first. Well, um, um, and the survivors can cleanse them. Well, but even if the survivors are cleansing them, they are wasting time cleansing them. So um, 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 and when they're cleansing them, they're not doing gens. So yeah. Um, and he also has Shred, which is a super underrated attack, which people are completely sleeping on. Like a good know what can what bait those stars into thinking they're going to shred and zone them um, away from a pallet um, and then just hit them. And also it can be used to shred pallets. So yeah. Um, um, as far as when they work are pretty good mobility. Um, and I think he can I think he also has some form of tracking when they cleanse your portals and when you can channel abyss. Is there anything else to say about Damo? I mean, his add-ons are. Um, um, I'm not sure what to think about his add-ons. They're really good. He can make good use of Save Best for Last. I feel like. I mean, I think he used to back in the day. I think he still can now. But yeah. Uh, Overall, I think he's a good solid killer. He has basically everything um, um, a good killer needs. Um, 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 well, but none of them are good enough to put him in the great tier. Um, um, if think he's just an overall balanced killer. The Oni, okay, okay, so his weaknesses hold him back from being in the great tier. Well, but I still think he's pretty good. Okay, so you start off as an L1 killer, and you know you can't get your power until you injure someone. Um, um, well, but when you injure someone, you know you get your power. I mean, you don't get instantly. You need to wait until they drop you know blood orbs. Um, 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 and you know doing that can be very time consuming as they'll just pre-drop pallets and do whatever they can to prevent you from getting that hit. That one hit is key. Which which you know that one hit can sometimes drag out for a long time. Uh, but you should be able to hit eventually. Okay, right. So once he's in his power, he becomes really, 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 really good. Um, 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 his mobility is better than Billy's. Well, because you know you can't bump into things and get kicked out of your power. Um, that is instant down is way easier to use, and you know you can um and yeah, really good. And you can kind of have tracking with your blood orbs and absorb them. You can follow the blood trails. and he has very good snowball potential. He can make good use of perks like Infectious Fright if he really wants to snowball out of control. Um, 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 and Slide Richard were to stop them from healing as much as possible so they leak blood orbs. Um, 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 but but he's also very map reliant, uh, which which is a problem because if it's like a map like um, RPD, he's gonna have a very hard time trying to slug because so claustrophobic and stuff. Um, I'm pretty sure the sculpt top knot, the sculpt top knot is still pretty nuclear, and uh, and the increase blood rates um, um, are really good too. Man, we still have a bunch of curious lads, and I'm already losing my voice and bumping. Anyway, Deathslinger, I think what holds him back from being in the solitaire is, with the 110 boom speed. He was hit hard by his nerf, but it's um, but that's but it didn't really knock him down far. I think his power is still usable. Um, 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 in good hands, he is a very good killer, or chase killer. Yeah, his chase is really good, but he has basically nothing outside of that. His chase is better than the killers in the OK tier, which boosts him up from there. Is there really much to say? I mean, I guess um, um you know um the men the deep rune as part of his base kit does work out. Um, oh, um, oh, I forgot to mention without Oblivious is part of phrase base kit, but that doesn't really affect much. I think he can make good use of perks like Jolt and Save Best for Last, and other perks, and his recharge add-ons are good, but I think that those are basically his only good add-ons. I don't think the rest are that good. Um, yeah, I think he's still a solid average tier, better than these guys. Wobius's chase is good to use. Um, 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 uh, Wobius's chasing power is efficient, but he doesn't really have much outside of that. Um, and he's at and he's a 110 killer, man. I'm bumping a lot. A Pyramid Head. I haven't really. I kind of suck at Pyramid Head. Um, um, and I don't know how he is perceived in um, in TV right now. I don't know how good he is, but well, but from what I assume, I think he's still a pretty solid killer. I mean his chase power when used right is good. Um, actually, the average yeah, I think he's average would because he has the chasing power. Um, um, I mean the tormenting survivors really doesn't do much apart from what what the final judgment and the sending to cages, which are good time savers. Well, but don't really do much uh, in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion. Um, Okay, what else? Yeah, I think his chase power pretty much carries him up the tiering thing. Um, yeah, yeah. I think he's just a bit average. Blight, is he in nurse level or is he just in the great tier? Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll put him in great for now. Okay, he's basically got everything a good killer needs. He's got he has fantastic mobility. He doesn't have any slowdown, which sucks. But well, but I believe there's still the tech which you can use that makes Blight S tier. I still don't know how to actually do it, or if it's actually possible on console, or if they've patched it. I don't think they patched it, but yeah, but yeah, that technique is brutal. Yeah, I think he's overall a good killer. And pretty fun. I really like his add-ons, especially that undetectable one and the recovery ones. Um, 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 I don't really use the ones that will make his power hard to use at the expense of you know um, good benefits. Well, because I don't really want to use them because they seem like very hard for me to use. What about well, um, well, because I seem people like him use them a lot, and I assume that they're good. But yeah, the twins. Um, I think you may could use the perks as well, like barbecue and chili and other stuff. Are they I mean, uh, they can snowball out of control. If uh, if the right circumstances are met. I mean, well, they're a basic killer with like 115. Uh, so she doesn't have the drawback of um, Huntress where she's super slow. Uh, uh, I mean, Victor is um, um, Victor can be a terrifying snowballer if the survivors uh, uh, aren't careful. And if I believe that he can get across the map pretty quickly, which I guess is a bit of mo a mobility for survivors, but then again, they can't just kick him. So yeah, uh, uh, I think the undetectable kind of helps, and also they have a bit of tracking where if they move by Victor, there's the 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 killer instincts wobble, but then again, they can just um, crouch by Victor and just sneak up on him and kick. And also the sorcerers can hold him hostage, which is either bad or good. It it can be good because they're not doing a gens if they're doing that but the downside is that you're uh, just a M1 killer. Yeah. The trickster. He is a 110% killer. I am very bad at him, um, as evident by my James Sucks at Trickster series. Um, 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 but I think that people do make good use of him. They are good at using his knives. I mean, I can't really face a trickster um, without going down to one. Well, but yeah, well, but yeah, he has the same problems as Huntress. Where I think he's just saying an overall just worse Huntress because he needs to reload. He is 110, and he has basically no mobility. So yeah, he's basically just a worse Huntress, and I'm not sure if his add-ons are that good because I can't really remember stuff about that. Um, um, oh, I think he can snowball in the right circumstances like Huntress. So um, is he in good or solid tier? I don't know. Um, um, okay, maybe he might just be at the bottom or of actually, maybe I'll just put him right there. Um, 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 for now, I think he's just sort of a worse on just well because the knives don't just instantly down. Nemesis, I think, is in a good and solid tier. He doesn't have any mobility, which sucks. Um, I didn't talk about any perks with Tracer because I don't know any actual builds for Trickster. Okay, so Nemesis, that technical strike is really good, like really good. Um, um, and he also has the zombies, which can sometimes be of help, but overall are not that useful. Um, um, well, but there isn't an add-on where if you hit one, it makes you undetectable, which can you can make really sneaky plays with that. There is an add-on. Wait, I'm getting I'm ahead of myself. So they need to heal themselves by having vaccines, which is slow down. But yeah, that technical strike is really good. You do kind of need to hit them like 3 times, which is annoying. But if you're a good Nemesis, you should be able to just stack up really quickly. Um, I'm not entirely um, sure how good his items are. Well, because I just only use like a few of them. But uh, well, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I'm putting him there. Okay, so Pinhead. Do I put him in average or okay? Maybe here for now. Uh, I think what really carries him is, the chain part of his ability. The tower. Well, because if they don't find that box, then then they basically can't do anything. They can't heal. They can't repair gens. They can open exits for some reason, and you can also use that Eerie add-on, which makes them able to only see the box a um, um, um in a certain radius, like 32 meters, which is completely brutal. Um, 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 but the rest of his power is lacking. I mean, he is this knockoff version of the nurse, which nurse power. So when used properly, it's good. Well, but well, but I think it's just um an okay bit of the perk um, um, his a timer um, 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 ability really just carries him in to the average tier. He does have slowdown um, because of the box, but he doesn't really have any doesn't really have any mobility besides uh, teleporting to the box. But I can also stop the box from being triggered and can pick up the box. Yeah, I think he's just average. Um, okay, so the artist. I'm gonna put the artist in a solid tier. I've she has basically no mobility. Well, but from what I've heard, her power is really good. Um, yep. I mean, I know it's really good. I just can't really use her properly. That's the thing. Um, so yeah, a good artist will be able to use her power correctly. Um, um, and um, um, will be able to do really well. Um, 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 oh, and Hoarder can work really good on Pinhead. I forgot to mention Hoarder. Uh, Although I'm not sure if they changed that. So yeah, there's not really much to say about artist. She has no slowdown. She has no mobility, just her crows, but I think her crows are good enough to well, I think her chase hour is good enough to put her in up in the good or solid tier. Well, because she isn't like 110 movement speed like Dustlinger. Wait a minute, should I put Billy and Bubba up here, or should I screw it? Actually, maybe I'll put. Nah, I'm not sure. I think I'll just put it right there. Okay, so um, um okay, so I'm gonna call this the Legion Fear. Well, well, because look, at least with Legion's power, you can guarantee a hit. Her power does not guarantee a hit, and she can go only test. Well, her uh, her power is she has arguably the best stuff in the game. Um, 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 besides Ghostface, because Ghostface, uh, um, because Ghostface needs to wait until his Night Shroud recharges. Um, well, but she needs to uncloak the same as Wraith. Um, 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 and she doesn't even get a speed boost. She has mobility, but it's not very good mo mobility. Well, because the survivors can hear you. You can run that you can run that add-on, which makes it so um, um which makes it so all of the TVs will project you, well, but doesn't really but it's not really that much of a benefit. They're still just gonna run away, and even if they realize that they're not, they're just gonna go right back to whatever it is they're doing. Oh, and they can just completely just disable your power by just grabbing the tapes. So yeah, So yeah, her power does not help her in chase, but she is the only short killer in the game, which means she can barely see over loops. Um, um, and yeah, she is pretty damn bad. Drengy boy. Okay. Drench is really good in Nightfall, and he does have good mobility, and he does have a chase power. I think he has everything that a good killer needs. I mean, I guess the Solaris can waste their time by unlocking lockers, well, but not by much. And the locking the lockers is a hindrance to you. Is more of a hindrance to you than it is for the survivors. But but I guess that you can still break them. But yeah, he has good mobility, uh, and he doesn't really have any slowdown. Um, um, and he has a chase power, which is kind of meh. And also, the survivors can just leave the loop when you should try to do it. So yeah. I love his add-ons. Um, um, I really love his add-ons. Um, um, I think all of them are really useful. Um, if he does make good use of perks, well, like knockout and maybe blindness perks. Well, because blindness in Nightfall is extremely brutal. Um, um, yeah, and he's really good at um, in Nightfall. Well, because he's undetectable, and the survivors can't really see that well, and can run into s- um, 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 a dead zone if they're not careful. And he can zip what really fast inside of Nightfall. He's really good in Nightfall. Yeah, I think he's an overall a solid killer. Wesker, I think he's in a great tier. He is. Well, if you think he has everything that a good killer needs, he has good mobility. He has a higher tear radius, which um, um, which is either good or bad. Well, because you can make good use of tear radius perks, and also the survivors can might think that you're closer than you actually are. He does have some slowdown, well, because of well, Ouroboros. Uh, well, because the survivors need to heal themselves, otherwise they will be hindered and be an easy target. Um, and yeah, his chase power is also really good. It's not as good as Nurse, though, so I'm not putting him in the best tier. Uh, and uh, uh, yeah, he has practically everything that a good killer needs, and is a great killer. The Knight. Oh boy, the Knight. Is he okay or average? Okay, so Knight can guarantee a hit. The Legion theorem, um, um, which separates him from being bad. Um, I mean, I guess his um, minions are good too because um well, well, well because they can just break gens for you, and they can just scout a certain area, uh, and they can break pallets for you, uh, and they can just like discourage a survivor from entering the area, and he is a an annoying free gener. So does give an average or okay? I think maybe mm, maybe at the top of the okay tier. I don't think that his strengths are enough to push him up into the average tier. Yeah, he has no mobility and there's no slowdown apart from the knights. But I feel like that can actually just be a well, but I feel like that can be what worked around. I don't know much about his add-ons, well, because he is the only cure that I do not own so far. Um, and I don't know what perks will be useful on him. And I forgot to talk about Wesker's perks and add-ons. I think they're pretty solid. Um, um, I think the one where you know where where you can automatically apply orb bros to all the survivors is good. Startup pressure. Uh, I don't think the one that breaks the passes is very good. Well, but I think that people, I- but I think I feel that I think that people who play Western might just be yelling at me uh, and saying no. It is actually really good. Well, but I don't know. Let's go, merchant. Okay, let's be fair. Okay, so she does not have a chase power, which automatically harms her. Um, um, she has her drones, which are not that good. I mean, similar with Knight, they can discourage a survivor from, going to that area. But then again, they can just disable the drone. Um, 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 and um, and she can force survivors to leave loops, but only when they're healthy. Um, she can't really do anything when they're injured. Uh, and also, when a survivor is injured, they're not even going to bother with the drones because uh, they're they're going to go down anyway. So the exposed thing isn't really going to help. Um, I mean, I guess she does have um, the shining thing, well, but that's just not really that useful. I mean, I guess Legion Fury um, 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 does kind of apply to her. At least she can guarantee like one um, hit by placing a drone at a loop. I mean, not guarantee, but yeah. I think what saves her well from being in the bad tier is undetectable, and she can discourage survivors from going into an area, but um not having a chase power um, and her power being very situational um, 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 really really holds her back. So this is my tier list. Hope you enjoyed the video and do you agree with my ranking. Um, and where would you place the keywords, and also inform me if I've missed anything. Um, um, especially about the knight because I don't know about any of his um, add-ons. Um, so yeah, bye bye.